Welcome to TIPspiration number 8. So each time I go to an IEP meeting, it's kind of like I have a long list of things that I could share with you. And so I decided I need to start doing them as just short little TIPspiration videos for you. And today we're going to be talking about how to measure an IEP goal and to be really clear on what you're measuring. So I was recently at an IEP meeting and the student had a social skills goal, and it was basically for the student to be able to identify, given a variety of scenarios, what would be appropriate responses or behaviors. So, like a scenario of being on the recess playground and wanting to invite a friend to play with you. What could you do? And the student was supposed to identify what those steps would be. And so it brings up lots of questions, right? Like, what does the word identify mean? What scenarios are they going to be? Are they going to be written scenarios she reads, verbal, ones she acts out? So all kinds of questions, right? But I wanted to just kind of zero in on how the teacher was going to measure this. So I asked her, I said, so how are you going to know if she's identifying, the correct behavior to do in these variety of scenarios? And so she said, well, and she got a clipboard and she said, well, I have these behavior checklists. And I said, so what are those like? So basically it was just a bunch of squares and she puts a plus or minus in it if the child is showing that behavior, I guess. And so I said, so how would you use that? And she said, well, I would go on, like the playground at recess time, and I would watch and I would see if she's doing those behaviors that we had talked about. And I said, so then you're really measuring whether or not she can generalize that skill onto the playground. You're not just measuring if she can identify those in this structured setting, And she goes, well, yeah, but, identifying is, kind of the baby step. And we do want her to generalize. And she went into this whole spiel, which I totally agree, right? We don't want kids just learning isolated skills that they can't use in real life. Or in the real life, happenings at the school. So, but it was like, yeah, but if you're going to be, recording this data on your behavior sheets for recess time and how she's playing with, peers, how is that going to tell you? Then I said, shouldn't your goal be for her to generalize these skills, and then one of the objectives could be that she identifies the correct behavior, appropriate behavior for these variety of scenarios. And so then it was like, I don't know if it was an aha moment for the teacher or not, but it's like, we have to be so careful, because I think so many times when parents see draft IEP goals and they say like 80% of the time, or, 4 or 5 trials, and they have other kinds of verbs in there, that parents think, oh, that must be a measurable goal. But we really have to kind of dig a little deeper, and we have to make sure that everybody understands exactly what that is and what will that look like when they're measuring it. And especially if you have a teacher plus a paraeducator plus a school counselor and they're all working on the same skill, everybody's got to be measuring that progress in the same way, right? So that is my TIPspiration for the day. I hope that you have liked my Facebook page, which is called Visions and Voices Together, because over there, every Thursday, we do a live Facebook video show, and we go into a lot more detail there. But this was our quick TIPspiration for the day. So until next time, take care. And we shall see you again.